So dear students, we move on to the next part of electrostatics, and that is your Gauss law. So far we have been studying about electric field intensity and electric potential, potential energy, starting with Coulomb's law and properties of charge. Now the next important topic, as I have already said, is Gauss law. Now before moving on to this, I would like to tell you why Gauss law. See, we need some shortcuts. Unfortunately, in the course of development of science, many scientists, they dawned upon some shortcuts to find out the ways of solving things. For example, I told you that if there is a point charge Q, and then at a particular distance r, we can say that electric field intensity is kq upon r square. Electric field intensity we define as the force per unit test charge placed at any point. Now the question is, suppose I have a uniformly charged sphere like this. When I am saying uniformly charged sphere, means a ball which is charged. There is a charge q, and let us say that this is uniform, and you want to find out at a distance r what is the value of electric field. Now of course, applying Coulomb's law, it will become very difficult how to calculate the electric field due to this distribution at this point, because there are so many point charges. This whole ball consists of many point charges, and each one of them will have its own intensity at that point, and then to find the total intensity I have to just do the vector sum. It's a very big exercise. But Gauss law simplifies many such things, interestingly, and therefore this law has become very instrumental. So this law is also part of Maxwell's equations. So this Gauss law, before I talk about the Gauss law, I would like to tell one new quantity in electrostatics which we call as electric flux. Now flux, it physically or intuitively you can understand like some sort of flow of electric field. Electric flux is some sort of flow, like there is a source of water and water flows all around. So you know that out of a certain charge, for example, if this is a charge plus q, then it has electric field like this. This has electric field which is radially outwards. Why do I call it radially outwards? Because if you bring some positive charge here, then it will be repelled. So that force, the direction of force, gives you the direction of electric field. Now, from the concept of electric field, we come to the concept of electric flux. Now suppose due to this charge here, the electric field at some point is E. Let us say the electric field is E. Now if I take a small area, suppose I take a small area, this is some area, and this electric field at this area is E. So the electric field which is passing through this area is E. So we define electric flux symbolized by phi as nothing but the dot product of electric field vector and area vector. तो ये आपको थोड़ा सा नया लग सकता है, like what is this area vector? Electric field vector all of you know already, but what is area vector? So if we talk of A vector, then A vector is nothing but area vector. Now area vector basically means like this area with a direction, the area with a direction. Now you may start to think what is the value, importance of E dot A, because you know that this dot product is nothing but it is E into A into cos theta. ये मैंने कैसे लिखा है? This I have written by the concept of dot product. So E is the value of electric field intensity, A is the value of area, and cos theta is cos of the angle between electric field vector and area vector. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आपको ये समझना होगा कि हम एरिया वेक्टर को कैसे डिफाइन करते हैं. तो देखिए मान लीजिए जैसे ये एरिया हैव ड्रॉन लाइक दिस, सो यू कैन हैव एन एरिया लाइक दिस, you can have an area like this, you can have an area like this. Area vector is always defined in a direction perpendicular to that area, perpendicular to this area, perpendicular to this area. For example, if you are looking at this board, so suppose this is a rectangle, this is a rectangle with some length and breadth. So we know that area of rectangle is how much? आपको मालूम है, that is length into breadth. So if the length of this white thing which you are seeing is L and this thing is B, so इसका area कितना हो गया आपका? The area is length into breadth. मगर if you want to express it in the fashion of area vector, तो आप क्या करेंगे? आप करेंगे length into breadth into a unit vector in this direction. तो मान लेते हैं z axis है आपकी, तो उस डायरेक्शन में हम जो यूनिट वेक्टर डिफाइन करते हैं वो क्या होता है? k कैप. So you can say that like the area vector is, just a minute, so the area vector is length into breadth into k cap. Okay, now k cap is the unit vector in this direction, unit vector in this direction. So first of all we should understand the meaning of electric flux, which is the dot product of electric field vector and area vector. Area vector is defined in a direction perpendicular to any given area, and electric field is, of course you know electric field, it is force per unit test charge, so electric field can have any direction. Now इसमें suppose in this figure आप approximately you can see that area vector is also like this. So electric field and area vector you can see in this figure, E vector is parallel to A vector. यहाँ पे area vector is also like this and E vector is also like this. So if the angle between E vector and A vector is 0, that is theta equals to 0, which means E vector is parallel to A vector, then we can write flux as E into A into cos of 0, which is only EA. Now if you have, let us say, electric field like this and area vector is like this, because it's normal to this, so and this angle is something like, for example, theta, then flux through this area would be equal to EA. Now this quantity is very important, that is flux through any area. The importance of it you can understand like this. For example, you have some basket which has some area A and rain is falling through the sky vertically. So what will happen into that area? The whole of the rain will be falling. But now suppose this is the basket and you are holding it like this. So rain will be falling but no rain will be entering into this basket. You are getting my point? This is the basket and the rain is falling from the top. This will be collecting. Now if you incline that basket like this and rain is falling like this, tell me, is any rain going to enter into this even though it's falling? No. So that means the flux of the rain in this direction is complete, that is EA. But if you make it like this, now area vector is like this and rain is falling like this, the angle is between this and this is 90, and from here you can say EA cos 90 is 0, cos 90 is 0. So if you hold it like this, rain is falling but no rain is entering into this basket, so the flux of the rain through this will be 0. Now if you hold it like this, so that this is the direction of area vector and this is rain vector, so the flux would be this into the dot product of this. So it will be E into A into cos of something. For example, if that angle is 30 degrees, let us say, so E into A into cos 30. So the maximum possible flux is EA. This is the maximum possible flux, and minimum flux is 0 when the theta is 90 degree. And I am only talking with respect to the magnitude, that is the value. Also, this flux can be positive or negative. For example, if theta is acute angle, cos theta is acute, so EA is positive. If theta is obtuse angle, for example 120, then it is negative. So what is the meaning of positive flux and negative flux? See, this E is like this, A is like this. Here you can see in this figure theta is acute angle. So flux EA cos theta, I missed it, I think writing it completely. EA cos theta, it's positive when theta is less than 90. So it's, you can say, outgoing flux. But if you have the same area here like this, and electric field is like this, for example, you can see this angle between A vector and E vector is obtuse. So this, if the, let us say the acute angle is there, then flux is positive. So you can say the entering flux is positive and the leaving flux is negative. So depending upon the angle, the flux can be positive and negative. So एक flux जब positive आएगा तो उसको हम entering flux बोल सकते हैं, and when it will be leaving, तो आप इसको decide कर सकते हैं here. For example, on this board, if this is your area vector, और ये आप इसको, you take it outward as the positive direction, and this is the direction of electric field. So here between E and A there is zero angle, so this is positive flux. Okay, so there can be entering flux also and there can be leaving flux also. So one of that flux we call as positive, and then the other, that is leaving flux. If entering flux is positive, then leaving flux would be negative. Or if entering flux you define as positive, then leaving flux will be negative. So इसको मैं आपको एक बार और बता देता हूँ carefully. You can look at it like this. Suppose this is a sphere. This is a sphere, and there is one area here, and there is one area here, and there is an electric field like this. There is an electric field like this. So now if you take this outward area as positive, so this area vector would be like this, and this area vector would be like this. Now you can see that this is electric field, let us say. So electric field is in this direction here, it is in this direction. So this area vector is like this and this area vector is like this. So you have to define in one way. So if this is the area vector here, then this will be the area vector here. Now you can see this angle is 180 degree, and this angle is between this and this is 0 degree. That is, I am talking of the angle between E vector and A vector. So यहाँ पे here the flux would be E into A into cos 180, that is minus EA, and here the flux would be E into A into cos of 0, that is plus EA. So here you can say it is the entering flux. तो यहाँ पे entering flux is negative, and there it is leaving flux out of this area which is positive. So if that's what I told you, if there is an entering flux, entering means opposite to the area vector. If it is negative, then the leaving flux will be positive. So we normally take area vector outwards. If you take area vector here, you take it outwards. The first thing to understand in Gauss law is electric flux, which I said is the dot product of electric field intensity and area vector. Now next I give you the definition of Gauss law itself. What is the definition of Gauss law? तो इसको आप थोड़ा ध्यान से समझ लीजिए. अभी तक हमने फ्लक्स की बात की है. So I have told you that E dot electric field intensity and area vector, इनका dot product is flux. Now I am writing the statement of Gauss law. So Gauss law says that the flux of the electric field through a closed surface, ये जो इंटीग्रेशन का साइन है, दिस इज क्लोज सरफेस, इक्वल्स टू क्यू आई एन अपॉन इप्सिलॉन नॉट. ये थोड़ा सुनने में इट लुक्स वेरी मैथमेटिकल, बट इसका मीनिंग होता है दिस टर्म इज द फ्लक्स. So it simply says that flux of the electric field, because we are talking of electric flux. So flux of the electric field through a closed surface is equal to the inside charge divided by the permittivity of free space, and I am here assuming the medium as vacuum, that is why I am calling it free space. Now इसको कैसे हम बताएंगे? जैसे सपोज दिस इज सम क्लोज्ड सरफेस, आप समझ सकते हो योर ग्लास इज एन ओपन सरफेस, नीचे से बंद होता है ऊपर से खुला होता है, बट इफ़ यू कवर द लिड ऑफ योर ग्लास और इफ़ यू cover your pressure cooker, then it becomes a closed surface. If you cover any utensil with a lid, it becomes closed surface. Now suppose here inside this is some charge Q. Now of course this will have electric field in all the directions. This will have electric field in all the directions. This charge which is enclosed by this surface, so this is a closed surface. So Gauss law आपसे क्या कहता है? What it says is like the flux of the electric field of this charge or any other charge also, like for example this is Q here, then here there is some other charge, let us say Q dash, then outside there is charge Q here. So because of all these charges at every point, for example this is the field of this, then इसका भी अपना एक field आएगा इस charge का, it will have its own field, then this charge will also have its own field. तो ये confusing picture के बजाय simply जो हमारा एक result बनता है rather than drawing all the fields. So what I want to illustrate is, if again I am redrawing what I drew, if there is this closed surface and there are some charges, let us say Q1, Q2 here, and Q1, Q2, and let us say more charges. Here also there are a number of charges. Then at every point there, due to these charges, there will be some electric field. For example, let me say that electric field here is something like this. Electric field here maybe is something like this. Now this electric field will be through small areas. Small areas. Here let us say the electric field is like this through this area. So this means integration of E dot ds. तो हम क्या करेंगे? We will find E dot ds. Now ds means this area vector और this area vector और this area vector, और मैंने आपको इसका डायरेक्शन कैसे बताया था? Normal, like this is ds vector. Normal, that is ds vector, perpendicular to this area outwards, and here also it will be normal. So everywhere E double dash, so everywhere you calculate E dot ds, E dot ds, E dot ds, and then you add it. This addition process is known as integration. So that will be the flux of the electric field through this closed surface. So what Gauss law says is the flux of the electric field through this closed surface is equal to charge inside this surface upon the medium, that is free space or the vacuum. तो देखिए इस केस में क्या आएगा? अगर मैं यहाँ पे अप्लाई करता हूँ इसको, तो E dot ds का इंटीग्रेशन which is what? Nothing but the total flux through this closed surface. This term is the total electric flux through this closed surface, and that will be equal to charge inside. Now what is the charge inside? It is Q1, Q2, Q3, small वाले जो हैं, big वाले outside हैं. So this will be Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3, so on upon epsilon naught. Now there is something which is very surprising here, and that is these charges are not coming here. It says only inside, Q inside. And second is this electric field here, this electric field at every point is because of all the charges that is outside and inside. So when you are learning Gauss law, you should always remember, when you write the left hand side of Gauss law where you say E dot ds, then this is the flux of the total electric field at every point because of all the charges outside and inside, but on the right side this is only the inside charge. So important thing to remember is here you can take a note of this. E is E net, and when I am saying E net, then due to all the charges inside and outside. And when I am writing this right hand side of this equation, that is Q ion, then Q ion is inside charges only. Q ion is inside charges only. So right hand side only contains inside charges, but left hand side contains the electric field because of all the charges inside and outside. So if it often causes a confusion why the electric field is because of all the charges inside, but on the right hand side it's only charge inside. An interesting result of that would be, suppose there is no charge inside. Suppose there is no charge inside. Let me take one particular case like this. I am rubbing it. So you can just rewind and note down if you have missed something. This is very important. What is E net? What is Q ion? Suppose I take a closed surface like this, and there are 2 point charges Q1 and Q2 here. So everywhere there would be some electric field. Everywhere there would be some electric field. Some electric field everywhere. E vector will exist everywhere, let us say. I can call it E1, E2, E3. Generally E vector, which is not constant but changing everywhere. So left hand side of Gauss law will exist, that is E dot ds, because E is there everywhere, and area vector तो आपका होगा ही होगा. Area vector ds vector would be there. यहाँ पे आप बनाओगे हर जगह area vector normal. Area vector कैसे लेते हैं? Normal to that area. Area vector is normal to that area. So ds vector भी होगा, E vector भी होगा. So left hand side, ये जो आपकी आती है left hand side, ये exist करेगी. बट राइट हैंड साइड में आप क्या लिखते हो? Q ion अपॉन एप्सिलॉन नॉट. नो, इसके अंदर चार्ज कितना दिख रहा है आपको इनसाइड दिस क्लोज सरफेस? यू नो दैट Q ion इज 0. सो दिस आंसर बिकम 0. तो आपको बड़ा सरप्राइज होगा, यू विल बी शॉक्ड व्हाई इट इज लाइक दिस. इफ देयर इज इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड हियर एंड देयर इज नो चार्ज इनसाइड बट इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इज देयर, तो इसका कुछ तो वैल्यू आना चाहिए. E डॉट डी एस सब जगह अगर आप ऐड करोगे, इफ यू ऐड E डॉट डी एस, E डॉट डी एस, E डॉट डी एस फॉर ऑल द स्मॉल एरियाज ऑन दिस सरफेस, देन यू शुड गेट सम वैल्यू. बट व्हाई इज इट कमिंग एज 0? तो इस प्रॉब्लम को हम नेक्स्ट क्लास में, नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में इसको डील करते हैं. तो मैं आपको एक्सप्लेन करूंगा कि जब हम व्हेन वी राइट E डॉट डी एस, then why is the contribution of these outside charges become 0? You can see that in this flux, if there is no inside charge, that flux becomes 0. So why do outside charges don't contribute anything, and the flux through this closed surface is only because of the inside charges? So let us discuss it in the next class. So I hope you have understood a little bit about Gauss law, its relevance, electric flux, area vector, electric field intensity vector. If you have not understood, just go back and watch this video 2-3 times, and then you can ask me any doubt. So thank you very much for now. See you in the next video.